Hi, John.
Hello.
I'm Jose.
Hello,
from
Jose.
Studio 92 from Peru.
Peru, yes.
I feel honored to be here with you today.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you, what do you love the most about having the opportunity to tell this story?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to take a story that is, I think, important for this generation and maybe introduce younger people to a story that holds up incredibly well and has themes that I think speak to the challenges of growing up and being a good citizen of the world and being part of the circle of life. So for me, the responsibility and the challenge of living up to people's expectations from the wonderful productions that preceded it was an exciting task for this point in my career.
Do you think that your version, the live-action version,
Yeah.
allows you to tell the story in a better way than the animated version, or is just different?
I don't think it's better. I think there's nothing that could compete with the discovery when you saw the first one for the first time and had no expectations, right? So I think for us, the challenge was to make it appear to be a new medium and to make it appear to be live action, because if it looked like an animated film, it would be redundant with the one that still is out there and still plays incredibly well. And so we used animation techniques, because technically it's animated, but the appearance should be live action, so that it could sit alongside of Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Jungle Book and all of the live action adaptations. But there's nothing live action in it. And so the challenge was to make it appear as though we actually filmed it in Africa, even though it was all done in computers.
I felt it that
Good.
way, by
Good.
the way.
That's great to hear.
For you, which was the most impressive part of this whole process? I mean, you traveled to Africa.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you said something really interesting about working with Hans Zimmer, about this
Yeah.
concert that he made.
That to me, that was probably the best part. Was Hans Zimmer had because he's been touring, playing the songs from Lion King. He wrote them 25 years ago, and he takes a live orchestra on the road, and I've seen his performance. And he said that, because for him it was a challenge too, how do you do it differently? But he said the energy that you get with a rehearsed band, even though it's 100 pieces, it brings a different energy and a different and more humanity, more artistic interpretation than how you would traditionally record a score. You do it very quickly. Usually the musicians are great, they play it one or two times and they move on to the next cue. He rehearsed them for a week, and we got to go and watch them play the whole movie in front of our eyes. And to me, that was the high point of the process.
The music was an amazing experience for me yesterday.
Yes.
I feel that it's going to win an Oscar. I signed it today.
Oh, good.
Oscar for Hans Zimmer for Best Music.
Oh.
I'm sure. You went to Africa before shooting the movie.
Yes.
Which are the things that you learned the most about this trip?
Well, I had gone, even before I was sure I was doing the film, I had gone over there. It was very hard not to think about Lion King in Africa, because I really didn't go there originally for research. I just went to go on safari with my family and friends, and we were talking about me doing the film. And so when you're up for a job and you don't know if you have it, you want to take your mind off of it. But everywhere I go, and not the people I was with didn't know I was thinking about being involved with the movie, all anybody would talk about is Lion King, because you look at every vista, every animal, you see lions. There was a lion sitting up on a rock that we passed by on safari, and everybody's like, look, it's the Lion King. And it felt to me like signs. But what was really good about researching and going and then also sending a research crew back and photographers back to build up a whole library of research was how much the original was inspired by what the animals are really like. And that allowed us to lean into the animal behavior. Like the warthog looks like a comical character as it's running around there. They're just funny looking, and it's the way that they move. And so that really inspired their interpretation of Pumbaa. And meerkats also, their personalities are in their movement. And so by studying the real animals and thinking about the old movie, that's how we pulled it all together and came up with our version.
If I give you the opportunity, I'm Disney, and I say, hey John, for marketing purposes, we need you to do one of the characters.
Yeah.
Choose one of the characters.
I would do Pumbaa.
Me
for
too.
Sure.
Yeah. I would.
That's the fun one.
Why?
No responsibility. You just have to be funny, and then Timon gets all the jokes. So all you have to do is be pleasant.
Amazing.
That's like
Seth Rogen.
And Happy Hogan's kind of like Pumbaa.
Exactly. Seth Rogen is amazing.
He's
by
great.
the way, his voice is.
Yeah, I couldn't take that
amazing.
part because he was so good, and his laugh and his writing too, because there's a lot of improvisation with the comedy on screen.
How did you felt when you see the movie for the first time?
Well, I just saw it complete about a week ago, so it was exciting, nerve-wracking, and because you go from working on it with all these people for 3 years, and now you're going to present it to the world, and you know how many people know the old one, and you know how much people care. It still feels a little bit, it's a relief because we're done. I'm very satisfied with how it came out. I know I like it, but you know, making movies isn't about satisfying your own taste. It's about sharing it with the world and seeing if they like it too. So it's, I feel like I'm at the beginning of a roller coaster.
You must take your place in the circle of life.